Please learn how to format your website. Majority of Brits back the UK pulling out of the ECHR, that's the European Convention of Human Rights, to deport more illegal migrants. Poll finds. Wow, there's a massive shift of people realising how bad things are getting. That's, by the way, one thing. People are like, oh, I hate this. I hate this migrant stuff and everything. Look, I hate it too, but the fact that it's happening is brilliant because it swings so many people to the right. It's brilliant. It's even starting to affect the posh liberal areas as well, and even they are starting to go, oh my god, I was wrong. They're going to come back like Ice Cube and Rick and Morty. No, wait, I care now. Because they just broke into my car. Usually it's just the poors that had to deal with that stuff, but now it's affecting me, so I've decided it's a problem again. A majority of voters back Britain pulling out of the Europe's Human Rights Treaty in order to deport more illegal migrants, according to a poll. The survey showed 54%. Now, this is a drastic change, by the way. You might get someone who's just like a basic bitch right-winger, but now you're getting, it's that bad where people are like, oh yeah, the Human Rights Convention, yeah, pull us right the fuck out of that because we want them out. Right? That's how bad it's getting. Fuck the Human Rights Convention. We need them gone. That is an act of desperation. Jesus, I mean, as someone who has a little bit of experience with the ECHR in that they refuse to hear my case in its entirety, basically, the ECHR is not that great. Not that great. When it comes to, human rights abuses, they are very selective in what ones they enforce. For example, me, who got arrested over a joke, they didn't give two fucks and they got me. They managed to not hear my case on a technicality. Some guy where we've no idea who he is, what he is, where he's from, what his past is. I mean, guy could be a raging paedophile for all we know. Oh, you can't deport him. He's allowed to just come in. He says he's 14. He only has a beard, whatever. Let's put him in a school next to 14-year-olds, right? That's, they're a bit, so that's why, are we pulling out? I don't really care too much. Oh, but what about human rights? Oh, yeah, because those were getting enforced in this country, weren't they? I mean, they are if you're foreign. They'll enforce the shit out of your human rights if you're foreign. But if you're from here and you say something about the foreigners, you're going to get arrested for it because fuck your human rights, The survey showed that 54% support leaving the European Convention on Human Rights. By comparison, just 27% of the 2,000 adults polled said they would oppose such a move, with the rest saying they don't know. It's actually quite annoying how the average person in the street doesn't really know exactly how rights and stuff are supposed to work, but hey-ho, make do with what you have. A clear majority of those polled agreed with replacing the current European system of human rights laws with new British laws that protect rights like free speech. Yeah, I'll fucking believe it when I see it, but enable the government to promptly deport illegal migrants. Among Tory voters, support was at 86%. Found the poll for the New Conservatives, a group of Tory MPs aiming to shape the party's policies before the next general election. Excuse me. The research by Whitestone Insight was carried out before Home Secretary Suella Braverman made a speech last week in which she criticised the 1951 Refugee Convention for helping create an absurd and unsustainable asylum system. That's for a fact it's not sustainable. Like I said many times before, the way that NHS funding and school funding and blah 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 for the areas are sorted out is based on the amount of tax paid by that particular area. Basically, the money goes into a pot. Oh, here's how much money's in the pot. Here's how many people we have to serve because they've spent all their lives donating into this pot of donating. I say it like it's a choice. It's not a choice. The money that we forcefully stole from these people gets put into a pot, and that decides what very badly run public services they get. Now, if you add a shit ton more people to that who have not at any point in their life paid into the pot because they're brand new to the country, well, that basically means that the pot's going to run out pretty fucking fast. And by the way, oh lordy, collapse is fucking coming. Go with Bupa. It's only 60 quid a month. Much better than the NHS. You get appointments the next day. You get treatment within a week. It's amazing. I mean, it's amazing if you've got the money for it. But it's a brilliant over here in Britain as well, because in America, it's fucking cowboys and Indians over there. They all have this agreement with each other because the red tape prevents other companies coming out and actually giving affordable healthcare. Whereas over here, the paid healthcare is competing with free. So basically over here, like the costs for private healthcare are much more sensible and affordable because they're competing with literally free. The New Conservatives Miss Braverman went on to warn that uncontrolled immigration posed an existential challenge for the West and could lead to our way of life being erased. That's correct. That's wow. Are we allowed to say that out loud now? Is that the is, are we allowed to discuss replacement theory now? Is that becoming mainstream? That's like okay. I'm good. Ooh, ooh, ooh! How lovely. My word. All right then. The New Conservative will today call for five main policy commitments in the party's next election manifesto, including replacing Labour's Human Rights Act with a new British framework for rights and freedoms. Again, I'm going to call it out right now. Here's the new Human Rights Act. It's going to be discussed and debated for about 6 months in fucking Parliament, probably longer, and it's going to be vague as hell. It is going to be vague as fuck. And I guarantee you the speech part is going to be, oh, don't worry, we're pulling out the ECHRs, we're going to make a new one. And I guarantee you it's going to be worse. The speech part especially, it's going to be so much worse. It came as Kemi Badenoch, the business secretary, said that the option of quitting the ECHR needs to be on the table. She told the Sunday Times, people present this argument as being something that's very extreme, but even in legal circles, a point that they make is that this convention needs updating. Is that the end of the article? Is that it? Why is the scroll wheel so long? That legit is the end of the article. All right, okay then. Well, that's the end of it. Okay, expected that to be a lot longer than that. But yeah, the way it's working right now is people are coming over here in the boats illegally, and one thing that they will not talk about is it actually costs up to £12,000 to pay to a people trafficker to get little Ahmed, the goat farmer, over from Afghanistan, over from Cali into Britain. Where's Ahmed, the goat farmer, getting 12 grand from? Where did the money come from? Or is Ahmed carrying something on his person, firearms, and bringing them into the country, which he then goes to a location and gives to certain criminal gangs, and that's how he pays. That's how he pays for his trip across. That's how they're doing it, by the way. It's drugs and guns. That's how they're bringing them over. The drugs, hey ho, whatever. Put whatever poison in your body that you want. The guns, hey ho, whatever. But I mean, I would like the rest of us to have it. If the criminals have guns, I would like to have guns as well, to be able to protect myself. But basically, that's the parts that they don't talk about, right? They're coming over here, and like a lot of these people, the reason they're coming over illegally is because they tried to go through the proper channels, and these people were linked to terrorism or crime, or they had a massive criminal record or something like that, and they got rejected. So they go, all right, fuck it, and they get on the boat and come over illegally instead. That's why they do it, right? We have more than enough means for people to come in legally. Like, it's actually, I've went online and looked at it myself. It's quite easy. It might take long, but then again, government takes fucking ages to do anything. But there are legal ways to come in. The reason these guys do it illegally is because, well, they were rejected. Because see, when they actually scan these people and all that, they find out that the overwhelming majority of them were rejected through the proper channels because of connections to organised crime or terrorism. Or they had a massive criminal record, and a lot of them are nonsense. Awful lot of nonsense. It's strange, that, isn't it? But yeah, as far as the ECHR, what's it doing for us? It's not doing much for us. You know, from personal experience, they won't even hear my case. But a migrant, oh, hell yeah, they'll hear his case. No problem. So as far as the ECHR goes, I mean, it's not like our government was obeying it. Anyway, I mean, like, we're infringing on people's speech all the time. Like, basically, speech is covered under Article 10 of the ECHR. And Section 1 of Article 10 is, beautiful, beautiful piece of free speech legislation, which is then immediately ruined by Section 2. Don't believe me? Do ECHR Article 10 and read it and look at how wonderful Section 1 is, and then Section 2 comes along and then just fucking ruins it. Just ruins the whole fucking thing. I know that, like, it's shite. You know, like when you're getting a blowjob from a man and his wig falls off and it just... Look, sorry, I got better. I haven't made, like, a trap joke in a fucking while, right? Because I'm better. I'm a married man now. I'm a lot more conservative now, right? But I don't make those jokes anymore. I've missed it. It's funny. But yeah, that's the problem we're having. The ECHR, we weren't really obeying it anyway. The only time it really gets properly fought for is for migrants. As far as, like, the general population of Britain goes, it's not doing much. right? People are still being arrested for their speech constantly all the time. You're getting like 14-year-olds like getting referred to Prevent because I posted a Pepe in the group chat. Like, it's dumb stuff like that, right? It's not doing much for us. But one thing that I will guarantee as well is whatever our government like writes up as our new human rights charter, it's going to be absolutely shit. It's going to be vague as fuck, and I can guarantee you right now that the speech part will be absolutely terrible.